So I'm so excited. Today I have Renee Ellis here, and she is a business owner, and I love talking to other business owners. This is, I call it the Millionaire Mom Method because all of us are striving to grow, right? And my goal for each episode is for us to inspire others, teach others, and grow together. That is my thing. We all rise together, right? That is my goal in life. Awesome. So, Renee, I would love to hear, welcome, first of all.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much. And tell us a little bit. I love hearing origin stories. Tell us a little bit about
Yes.
like kind of your backstory, or if you feel like there was a moment that kind of instigated your business journey where you were like, oh, this is an idea and I want to go with it.
Yeah. So all my life, I knew I didn't fit in the regular kind of corporate
9 to 5.
world.
Yeah.
Yes. So basically, I I always knew I wanted to do something creative because I am a creative person and I feel like that would just make me love my job so much more. And I feel like
Yeah.
that's very important.
Yeah.
And all my life, I was told, you're never going to make money in the
Oh,
creative world. Like, you have to,
yeah.
have a
Get
regular
real.
job, and, that's how you're going to make your money, right?
Of course.
And so I fell for it and was kind of looking and searching. And then as I was graduating high school, I found out that you could be a graphic designer or a website designer because I took a few courses in high school for coding and a lot of creative courses as
Oh,
well. So
cool.
I enjoyed
That was
all
like
of those.
right on the cusp, right? I feel like that was
Yeah.
pretty new. I don't know about for you, right?
Well, it was like MySpace times too. So like
Yeah.
that's what really intrigued me because I was really into, customizing my MySpace
I
page and
say.
all that fun stuff. And I was making um
Cool.
like fan pages for my favorite, boy bands and things
Ah,
like that, right? So
so
I was
cute.
just like, this is fun. And,
Yeah.
I want to kind
Creative.
of do
Yeah.
that and creative. So I was like, let's go into it. So that's what I did when I
Smart.
went into college. I took a few of media courses. So it was a pretty well-rounded one. There was a little bit of photography, a little bit of graphic design, web design, like everything kind of meshed together so I could like really have some time to figure out what it is I wanted to do. And then
Yeah.
after that, I took another course specifically for website design.
Love it.
And then graduating, that was another eye opener because I thought it would be so easy to find something
Oh,
after
yeah.
graduating.
Don't we all?
And it
I feel
was
like
so
college
hard.
does not prepare you for the real world, right? We all think, oh, I'm
No.
just going to go to college and then get a job, of course. Yeah. Yeah. I think
So
that's the hardest time in life. Yeah. Carry on.
I was just stuck
Yeah.
with my part-time job that I had from before.
Yeah.
And it was working at a cosmetic counter.
Oh,
So
amazing.
I continued to do that. I was the manager of the cosmetic counter for a while. I bounced around to a few different department stores with the same brand for a while until I kind of landed at this one location that kind of felt like home. So I stayed there for a bit and kind of dabbled a little bit in a few different other brands as well. And that really gave me the business sense that I needed
Oh,
to
interesting.
learn about how to run a business because how you're
Yeah,
running a counter is
right.
very, very similar. You're really
Really?
looking at the data and the input.
Analytics.
And even though they have a lot of fun, events and a marketing team that does a lot of marketing for you, you're
Yeah.
also still responsible for
Pulling people.
creating events on your own and marketing those and all of that fun stuff. So that's when I was like, okay, I'm really enjoying this. And then, I get pregnant and
Oh.
yeah, super excited, having fun. But I start to think,
Yeah.
do I want to come back to this after having my daughter? Like, what's life gonna look like, right? And deep down inside, I knew that, what I was doing wasn't what I wanted to do long term. And I knew that I wanted that freedom. And I knew deep down inside that, like I said, I just didn't fit that corporate world and I wanted to do something on my own. So
Yes.
that's where my husband and I were just kind of going back and forth and speaking with each other about what it is exactly that I want to do. And
Mhm.
after graduating, I was still doing a lot of little side jobs here and there for
Oh,
friends of friends or
website
family and things
design
like that.
stuff.
Yeah, website design, logos,
Oh,
designs, and things like that.
cool. Gotcha.
And then that just kind of got me thinking, well, maybe I can turn that into a business.
Yes.
So I just kind of dabbled my foot in the water
Uh-huh.
after, my maternity leave was up. And I decided that, what, I was going to open an Etsy shop just to test it out and see how it goes. And that's how I met you.
Yes. Yes.
Yay.
That's been like, I feel like a decade at
Oh,
least.
yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we quickly learned, maybe the next year, maybe it's been a few years, but we're birthday twins, which I love.
Yes. And that was
Yes.
exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell me about Etsy. How did that feel or how did that go for you?
It felt great. I was
Yeah.
like, wow, people actually want what
Embrace
I'm,
creatives. Yes.
yeah.
And want
So it
what you,
was a very big eye opener. And then soon I started to feel that like doubt creep in. I was like, well, I'm creating websites for people, but I don't have my own website. So I'm like, I think it's time to graduate up
oh,
to being a big girl and creating my own
right.
website, right?
Yeah.
So that's when that kind of started. And then my shift kind of slowly started focusing in on taking everything a little bit more seriously. And I've just kind of continued on from there. And I'm always thinking of, what the next steps are for
Yeah.
the business and kind of guiding myself to those decisions,
Yeah, of course.
as I
Wow.
can. Yeah.
Awesome. So really, it was kind of kids, right? Which I feel like often happens, right? Out of a little bit of necessity, but also I think you're so right. Entrepreneurs are really have this spirit of not wanting to sit at a desk all day, right? Not, you know, what's the word?
Yeah.
Not listening to the man. I don't know if that's the right word. Not reporting to the right one boss at a time.
Yeah.
So I love that. I'm really curious, what did you learn from the makeup counter? One, what makeup stuff did you learn, if anything? Because I'm always looking for that. But also, like, what do you take to your business? Like you said, you kind of learned so much there. What do you take into your business from that aspect?
So definitely looking at what resources that you do have and being creative with that because
Mm-hmm.
you can create something spectacular out of what you already have. And just
Yeah.
looking at the type of clients that you have coming in,
Yes.
what they really like.
Yes. Love
Yes,
it.
and
And what they want.
focusing in really, yes, focusing in
Mm-hmm.
really on that and creating, we would create events around specific products that were doing really well or
Mm-hmm.
new launches that we had coming up,
Yeah.
and just reaching out and creating that bond between yourself and your clients is so important.
So
Like, it's more than just a transaction, it's a
yeah.
relationship. I've had lifelong relationships with some of my clients that still come to me from, the beginning
Yeah.
till now. So I feel like that's super important. And
Super.
then something that I learned from working in there for, a little makeup
Yeah.
tip
Please.
is skincare is your
Oh,
number one friend. You have to have a really good base in
yes.
order to build upon, and then it's just accentuating that, right?
Yeah.
So I am all for skincare first and then the makeup.
I
Yeah.
love that. That makes so much sense. Yeah, I think that's so important too. And now my kids are approaching, well, they just turned 14. So we're really talking about skincare, right?
Okay.
So it's really important at our house. But yeah, I'm still learning, of course. But right, I feel like in my 40s, I'm still learning how to take care of my skin. So how could I possibly expect my teenagers to know or do, you know,
Exactly.
what they need?
And
So it's
it's always
a
ever
journey.
evolving, you know?
Yes, as life changes and
Yeah.
everything, for sure. Awesome. And so tell me about your kids. You have how many kids do you have?
I have one
Oh,
kid.
you have okay, so you
Yes,
still have
yeah.
one daughter. Amazing. How old is
Yeah,
she?
my daughter, her name is Sage. She is
Oh,
amazing.
oh.
Yes. Love
And
her
how
so
old is
much.
she?
She's 8 years old.
Oh, amazing. That's such a fun age.
Yeah.
I love that. I feel like they're really
Yeah.
starting to, you can have conversations, of course, and like, really start talking about the big stuff, sort of starting.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Awesome. Is
she's
she in
8 going on 14, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That is my daughter too, for sure. Is she into Taylor Swift? Are you into Taylor Swift?
She loves Taylor Swift.
Does
Yeah,
she? Did
big
she
Taylor
like
Swift fan. I don't mind Taylor Swift. She's got a
yeah,
few songs. I'm not a
yeah,
huge Swiftie though, so,
yeah. Did you guys go see the
don't
movie or
quiz me
anything?
on
Oh
anything.
no, no, never, never, never. Did you take her to the movie or no? Not
No,
quite.
I have not.
Oh, okay.
No, not yet.
So, what I found, and maybe you have found this, that with daughters, I feel like their friends change fairly quickly sometimes. And so sometimes you really
Yes.
connect with a mom, and then the girls move on, and you're like, wait, we were friends, right? And
Yeah,
so you still
yeah.
kind of stay friends with the moms. That's kind of how I feel about Taylor Swift. So my daughter was really into her, and then I just got into it. So I love studying. I'm a real big, literary. I love poems and, I just love looking into all of her lyrics. And so I got really deep into, I'm a full-blown Swiftie. And then my daughter moved on, right? So
Oh no.
she's like I don't know, I always say silly, like she's like the drug dealer, right? She got me hooked and then she just left me. But that's
Oh
okay.
no.
I'm still into it. So I made her go to the movie. And so now it's more me. But anyway, back to you. So tell me how your daughter influences maybe your business, or how do you incorporate her kind of
Yeah.
either in your day to day, or do you get her involved in your business stuff?
Oh yeah, 100%, especially during the earlier days when she wasn't in school and I
Yeah,
was trying to find that balance between working and
yeah,
then also being a mom, which is really hard sometimes. But something that I learned along the way is that a lot of my um, clients are also in the
yeah,
same boat that I am or have
yeah,
been in that boat at one
right.
point in time. So they totally got it. They understood where I was coming from if I had to take a second to go and,
Oh,
take care of my daughter or,
of course.
open a
Pick her up.
snack up for her while I,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I always had that like guilt inside at the beginning, like, oh my God, I'm not being professional right now. And, but I soon learned that you want to know what? Everybody's human and they understand, you know what I mean? Like they understand where you're coming from, what you're doing, and they'll give you grace, right?
Yes, absolutely. 100%. Yeah, and that's what that's my wish for the world, and that's why I love talking to other moms, is that I feel like it's such a thing that I don't know about you, but after my kids were born, I was trying to look for jobs and I felt like I went to some interviews and I had to be like, well, I want to be done by 3. And they didn't understand, right? And they were like,
Yes.
then and they were like, well, why do you only want to work till 3? I'm like, I gotta go to Carline, right? Like, right? And so I feel like I just wish, and it's every mom, right? Every mom has to pick up their kids, right? Has to, be available for field trips, has
Yeah.
to whatever, right? And so
Sick day calls in the middle of the day. Like,
yes, of course, right? It's momming, and I just wish that it were more accepted, right?
yes.
I've heard Canada, obviously you guys have, I think, more like maternity leave or something,
Yeah,
right?
we do have a little bit more, yeah.
Which is
But
amazing, but still, yeah,
it still could improve,
stigmatized.
but it's definitely
Mhm.
better than what some people have, right? So
Yeah,
it's something,
for
which
sure.
is a great start. And,
Yeah.
it definitely does make a difference because if I give it to the moms out there that have to work,
Oh
shortly
yeah,
after giving birth,
two
because
weeks. Yeah,
Lord
usually.
knows that I definitely would not have been able to do that.
I know. I know, me neither. I felt really lucky that I could stay home and work on my little Etsy shop while my children
Exactly.
were tiny. But yeah, it's really hard, and I just wish it were it's every mom, right? Every mom has the same trials, and I don't understand why we have to be, worried that we're pregnant, right? Or worried to tell our boss, or
Yeah,
worried about maternity leave. It should just be a natural part, or worried about breastfeeding or whatever you have to do, right? It's a natural part. We were all children. We all have to grow
exactly.
up, right? So anyway, that's
Yeah.
my 2 cents for this. But yeah, I think it's a challenge for all women for sure.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about what you offer. So and how people can kind of get a hold of you. What's kind of something you're excited about in your business right now, and how do you love helping people?
Yeah. So, what I offer is I have my own little method that I like to use. It's called Clear, Convert, and Captivate. And that's my whole thing. I love to incorporate strategy into your website because without it, your website is just a
Oh,
glorified business card, essentially, right? You want to be able to strategically guide your client through your website to the offer that you have for them, and
yeah.
make sure that you're speaking to all the different types of buyers out there. There's many people who are into learning about what it is that you do, but then there's
Yeah.
others who aren't
Clicks on the
so
button.
interested in
Yeah.
that, but they're really interested in learning about how they can connect with you,
Yeah.
right? So they want to have that connection feeling with you.
I like
So
that.
just speaking to all those different types of buyers out there,
Mm,
to reinforce that, you know, your services are going to change their life in some way, and
yeah.
that, or your product, whatever it is, that
Hmm.
your ultimate end goal is, and that, you are the person for that job. And so there's different ways that we can do that through the building process to have those clients convert into sales, essentially, right?
Yeah.
So through that, many businesses are at different stages in their life. Some people are just starting out, which, if that's the case, I can definitely help out with the full build.
Hmm.
Others already have that foundation there. It just needs a little bit of tweaking, which a redesign would be perfect for that type of person. And
Hmm.
that is a service that I do offer as well. Maybe you just kind of want to get that strategy on point. You love how your site looks.
Yeah.
Then, we just kind of tweak some things.
I love that.
And then there's other people who, might just need a little bit of help here and there updating things. And,
Yeah.
that's something I can definitely help out with.
Love it.
So, it's just learning about what it is that is, ultimately the end goal, and
Yeah.
where the business is at in their journey, and just kind of figuring out what it is that they need.
Love that. You really meet them where they're at, of course, right?
Exactly. So I'm able to kind of customize. It's not like a
Mm,
one set, kind of plan that, it's
I love that.
not cookie cutter, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Everything is kind of custom.
And that's what's so beautiful, I think, about small business owners, right? You get to decide, how you can help people and you get to customize. It's not just plugging you into or plugging your customer into a program, right? You really customize it to whatever they need. So that's really
Exactly, right? Because what's good for one person isn't necessarily going to be beneficial to the other person.
so true. Yeah. Like I know I don't know if this is something you still offer, but I know I came to you about site speed, right?
Yeah,
And definitely color.
exactly.
And you really helped me like figure out, oh, like fonts and colors and stuff like that. So I'm definitely
Yeah.
be
There's so
further.
many things that you wouldn't think would
Yeah.
make a difference, but the
Yeah.
just that one small little tweak can make a big
Yeah.
change.
So true. And I think of you every time I want to like add different colors and then it's not very clear, right? Like I want it to be
Yeah.
pretty. I think pink on pink is great, but it's a little
And
harder
then, I
on
mean,
the
it does work, but we got to
eyes.
make sure that that contrast is there, right? We got to
Yeah.
think about the readability, and,
Yeah.
not only people reading it, but Google doesn't like that either.
Oh,
So,
makes sense. That makes sense.
yeah, we
Yeah.
have to think of the, you
Box,
know,
Google Box.
Google, the
Yeah.
all infamous Google. What does it
Mhm.
want?
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's so true. And so what do you feel like, and how can people connect with you? We'll say that real quick, and I'll add stuff in
Yeah.
comments
So
below.
I have my own website, reneedesigns.com, that they can
Love it.
reach out to me on. I'm also on social media. Pretty much all my handles are Renee Designs. So you can
Love it.
find me that way there. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Also have a Pinterest account and LinkedIn.
Beautiful.
I'm
All the
almost on
things.
everything.
Yeah,
Had to
gotta be
cut the
everywhere.
line somewhere though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was just telling my mom the other day, I don't know if you follow Martha Stewart much, right? I think she's a marketing
Yep.
genius, and her company is called Omni Media. And so that's
Okay.
always my goal is to be omnipresent, right? You gotta
Yes,
be everywhere. So I think it's smart.
exactly.
Try it all, try it all. And so how do you feel about like future, well, for what first, what is like the number one main tip maybe that you have for websites? Like, is there a number one thing that you're like, most websites need to do this first, or most websites are missing this?
Most websites like to frame themselves as the hero, but they are
Mm,
not the hero. The business is not the hero.
is,
Yeah. I feel
mm,
like that's the number one thing. If
mm,
you
really good.
change that thing, that can make a world of difference.
Oh, that's so important. That's such a
Yeah,
great idea. Definitely, I'm
we
going to
have to
think about
frame
that.
the client as the hero. We're just the support.
Yeah,
We're
love
the
it.
support on the journey.
Because you want them to come to your website and feel like, oh, I can do this. Oh, this is me. I need to, right? I need this.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Love that. Wow, that's great. And what would be kind of your message for future women, or what are you kind of hoping? I always love talking about money, right? I think money is such a hard topic.
Yeah.
And so what is your hope for future women business owners, or what advice would you give to future women business owners?
Don't ever stop. If you stop, that is when you fail completely.
Yes.
Failing in itself, if something didn't work out,
Right.
that's okay. We can
Yeah,
learn something from it. There's going to be
absolutely.
so many different points in your life where something's not going to work out in the business,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean that that's the end. It's only
Right.
the end when you stop.
Yeah.
So you gotta pick it back up, learn
Yeah.
from that mistake,
Maybe
and
pivot.
then just
Yeah.
readjust based
Yeah.
on the information that you have and try again.
Yeah.
And then you might learn something else during the process,
Of
or it
course.
might be completely successful
Right.
and you crack the code.
Right. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really smart. Awesome. Well, is there anything else that you want to tell us about you and your business that we haven't covered?
Oh my goodness.
Question.
I think we covered a lot of it, just it's all about how you present it that makes the difference.
Yeah.
So just making sure that that strategy is in there. You could have the most beautiful looking website
Yeah.
and it just does not work.
Yes. Because what's the point of having a business website if you're not getting
Yeah.
clients out of it? And back to what were your three C's again?
Clear, convert, and captivate.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Clear,
Clear,
convert.
clear messaging, clear
Mhm.
journey, like making sure everything is crystal clear to the client.
Mhm.
Nothing is hidden. You're being 100% transparent,
Yeah.
showing them exactly what it is that they're getting and how it's going to be beneficial. And
Mhm.
then, that's when that conversion happens.
Yeah.
And that's when that captivation happens, right? So that's when they get interested and stay and convert.
Love it. Gotcha. And would you always recommend, right? I always think a lot of websites maybe don't have a sign up or a way for them to get in without buying something. Do you feel like that's the case?
So, yes, that is the case. And I find a lot of people are like, I just don't have the time to do an email newsletter
Yeah.
or, do something with those emails. And that's okay. You don't
Right.
have to have it figured out right now. That
Yes,
can be something for a rainy day.
of
At
course.
least you're collecting
Right.
those because when the moment comes that you're able to send that
Yeah.
newsletter, you will have that big full email list that you can use rather than starting from scratch and being
Yeah.
like, okay, now it's going to delay me, so
Oh,
long, so much more, right? Trying
yes.
to get those emails so that I can actually do this.
Yes.
But you were prepared.
Yes. And I've heard that from a lot of successful business owners that they're like, man, I wish I would have started that email list earlier because just
Yeah.
that they were not sure they were ready or whatever. They started it late. I myself started it late. I always say, in past businesses, I wish I had started an email newsletter, right? Just to stay top of
Yeah.
mind and let them know what you had. I mean, at least if the biz, that's what I always say too. If Facebook shuts down tomorrow, what do you have? You don't
Yep,
have
you have
anything.
nothing. Yes.
But your
I
email list,
preach
you
that a
have
lot myself as well. Having your own place where your people can go is so important.
so important. Yeah, good. I love that. Awesome. Well, I will include all of your links below, and definitely we will stay in each other's circles, and I'll
Oh
continue
yeah.
watching you grow. And I'm excited to see where the next step is for you.
Oh, thank you. I'm so grateful that you asked me to be on here. It's
Of
been
course.
fun.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks so much, Renee. We'll see you on the next one.
Thanks.
All right, bye.
Bye.